somebody with others will
Yes,
want
right.
to start. Professor Daniel, do you want to start first?
But you can start if you want. I can wait. I have no problem. I will.
No, no, no problem, because I will be here because Mustafa can't stay because his father is in hospital.
Okay.
And Mustafa, you will leave or you will stay?
Thank you very much. Thank you for all participants, and I respectfully greet you all. Thank you in advance for your contributions. Thank you for all. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
So,
Laura,
Professor Daniel, you can start first if you want.
Okay.
If you are ready, okay.
Yeah, I will share my screen with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
So now you should see the presentation.
Yes, we see. We see.
Okay, so
It's okay.
uh, hello to everybody once again. My name is Daniel Honts, and I am a member of Department of Automation and Mathematics at Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Informatics, University of Pardubice in Czech Republic. So we are in the middle of the Europe, and our university is 1 hour by train from Prague, so very close to the capital. We are the youngest faculty, so we have together seven faculties at our university. Let's say 3 of them are technical faculty, like Faculty of Chemical Technology, Transport Engineering, and our Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Informatics. This is our building. And in education, we have study programs in informatics, electrical engineering, and automation. We are solving a lot of research projects because we have a strong group of people working in detection, identification, localization, classification, AI applications. So we are solving national and international financing grants, and also we cooperate with industrial partners and universities. This is like a bit some pictures of our laboratories, because also we have some industrial laboratories. So these are some examples of that. For today, I prepared such a I will share my thoughts about the topic if classical control circuits will be replaced by artificial intelligence, because we see progress of AI applications. So we can ask, or we have to ask ourselves, will be able artificial intelligence analyze and solve the control problems, or will classical standard control approaches be replaced by artificial intelligence, or will control be implemented in the cloud, which are topics, very interesting topics, and a lot of people, they are discussing about it and testing different solutions. So I prepared some information about it for you. So let's have a look how feedback control works, and if there is a space for artificial intelligence methods. I don't know if you are familiar with the process control, how it works, but this is classical feedback control loop, where the process is controlled by the controller, and we are using information about controlled variable to generate the manipulated variable in this feedback way of we are measuring, for example, temperature, and according to temperature and our desired temperature, we are deciding about a manipulated variable, which can be, for example, heating or cooling. So this is classic feedback control loop, and the most common controller for example, in this applications of temperature control in houses is on-off controller. So we are switching on and off the heating as the temperature reaches the desired temperature. So we are switching off and then again on and off. And so that's the way how the standard in such a way that the standard controller is using. So no model is needed here, but there is a space for artificial intelligence because it can work as a human. If there is low temperature, it can decide to heat, or if the temperature is high, not to heat or to cool. So this is something very similar structure, similar system, which is used in industry. Not only this on-off or discrete or level or two-level controls are used. There's also possibility to control continuous heating to change the continuous heating power, like PID control is doing. So the control action, the heating power, is proportional to control error to its integral, which is some cumulative information about the control error, and to its change, which is derivative of the control error. And that's the result what we can get for such a strategy. So you see, we are not switching on and off as before, but we are using continuous heating power to follow the set point, and this is the disturbance. So to reject the effect of the disturbances. I don't know if you see, this is the cost function, like quality measure. So for this strategy, the cost function was 23. This is better. This is 15. So the higher quality control. And in my professional life, I'm working with something which is called MPC, model predictive control, and this is something like, I will go back for this strategy. Some information about the control system is needed, because we have to tune the weight for these three terms. So these are like weighting factors or weighting coefficients, and the result of the control design are these three numbers. So this is something which artificial intelligence can help us to get this proper tuning for this strategy. And this is my research topic. I'm keen on online optimizer based control strategies like MPC, which means that we are using dynamic models, full dynamic model, to create something which we are calling predictor. We are defining the cost function, and there are solvers or solutions to that problem, analytical or numerical, to get optimal control actions, and then I will run some simulation to show it to you. But the important thing is that as it is formulated, there is no feedback. But because of this receding horizon, we are repeating whole algorithms every sample time, every time instant, again and again. So then there is something like influence of measurement or state observation to our decisions. So you see then the quality is 10 times better than with the simplest solution. I will try to run some simulations. So let me try it if it is working. And so this should give us, this is it's not real time, because I didn't want to waste your time. So this is on-off strategy, how it works. The simplest case. Then this should be PID control strategy. So you see, how the controller was manipulating the heating to keep the temperature on desired levels and to reject disturbances. And the last one will be the predictive. And there's this green line. This is prediction horizon. So we are calculating optimal control actions, which is giving us the optimal behavior of the system on this horizon. Something, if you drive a car, you are observing the street in front of you, and you are thinking in your head. You have something like model of your car, of your driving ability, like driving skills, and optimizer. So even if you don't think about it, you are working as in this predictive manner to think, how should I behave now that it will be for the future, let's say not the best, but some solution which is going to, let's say, safety ride or drive. So this is what I was preparing for you, some examples. And now let's continue. Okay, let's see the current situation in the industry. From my point of view, a lot of technicians, they are working on some experience based way of work, of tuning, and they are solving the problems on mostly on the real device. They are tuning the parameters. There are some methods based or in theory there are plenty of such methods, but sometimes the industrial industry, they use some simulation softwares to tune the controllers or to find the strategies. Different models are used, and control objectives must be specified, and then the solution to find a law or some algorithms. There are two extreme cases: data-driven, so we can decide about the actions from the data only, or model-based control approaches. In real life, in reality, there's a combination of both. And of course, there's something which is called auto-tuning button, which is very useful for industry. And in these cases, something like artificial intelligence can be applied, I think, in very nowadays or near future. So what is nowadays artificial intelligence, like I was calling it in test mode, so the current state. There are some applications how to tune standard controllers through artificial intelligence. So, for example, PID controllers, how to create mathematical models analytically or experimentally, and how to calculate manipulated variables, for example, through genetic algorithms. A bit risky is that what is the let's say like AI solutions are not predictable. They work, but from exact methods, we have 75 or maybe more years experienced. They have predictable behavior. They guarantee solution stability, robustness. Also, maintenance is relatively simple. So this is something which the AI should be able, or if we want that in industry there will be used AI, we have to think about it to give some of those features, to guarantee some of those features also for artificial intelligence. So the future potential I see in full analysis of control process, active experiment design, modeling, validation of the model, full control algorithms design, or directly full control. This I see as a near future, and the strong or big potential is to control of very complex, hardly modeled processes, which are now controlled through distributed control systems like individual loops. So if we are able to control it like multivariable systems, the quality should be increased. And maybe perhaps it's time to change our perspective on the design process of technology and look at the problem more comprehensively instead of focusing on individual tasks. Artificial intelligence could help us with this. I think that this is something which is very positive. Let's try, and who knows. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. A very interesting presentation from you. Because as we know, some are afraid from artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Yes, but you prove that it's needed in some fields. So
hopefully it was interesting for you. That I know that I'm working in this area, so I was trying to give you some thoughts about it.
I am an economist, but artificial intelligence now is interesting for all, I think.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. Yes.
Congratulations for your presentation. So we can continue with other professor who is online. Professor,
Yeah.
I can't see her.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. It's me. Let me share my
Share your
slides.
presentation. Okay. In which field are you, Professor?
I see. I'm trying to put my window.
You can share in the top of the computer is the share icon near the microphone and camera.
So do you see my slide?
Not yet. You can click in your presentation and maybe it will open.
Okay.
Make a double click. Now it's good, don't worry. We can see it.
You can see. Good.
Yeah.
Yes, my presentation, it is going on research, and it is a study on strategic modalities for maximizing economic productivity of cooperatives in my home country, Burundi. I am actually a professor at the National University of Burundi, where I teach social sciences, particularly political science and development theories. So the state of Burundi has adopted some policies in promoting the country's economic development. And one of the strategies which have been implemented, the policy of economic development, was to regroup the population into cooperatives and to finance the activities with those cooperatives. And then when we tried to see the outcome, how this policy was being implemented, and the outcome which was coming out, we realized that actually some cooperatives were successful and the others were stagnant. They did not manage to progress, and some others actually have completely failed. They went bankrupt. And then this situation made us, as a scholar, to think of what would be our contribution actually to see how we can help the community to improve the outcome of these cooperatives. And then we conducted this study, actually to see whether we can find some viable strategies which may be workable actually to improve the productivity of these economic organizations. Then I set some key questions whether we may find some conditions which may be necessary and sufficient for the success of economic activities of cooperatives in Burundi. And I also needed to know whether these conditions may be generalized for all the cooperatives, and what actually may be the condition of success, just the condition on which may be defined as which may be also promoted to increase the productivity and to promote success in these organizations. So I set as well some research objectives, and one these research objectives were actually broken into the general one and the specific ones. And the general research objective was actually to conceptualize and to put in place some strategic modalities which may help to maximize the productivity of cooperatives. And then there were some specific objectives. The first one was to identify the conditions for success of the cooperatives' economic activities in my home country, Burundi, and to identify the causes of failure of cooperatives, and to analyze whether the conditions of success can be generalized for all the existing cooperatives, and to set some guide for promoting economic activities of cooperatives in Burundi. So I chose a research methodology actually to solve my research problem. I used a process tracing methodology, and I have a goal to trace the causal mechanisms which drive success, but also can define failure in economic activities of the chosen sample of cooperatives in Burundi. And I set some survey as well, and used the focus group strategy in order to collect the data, and also to in an effort to elucidate the causes and the condition of success in economic activities of cooperatives in Burundi. My sample included actually 5 provinces. In mind, I may tell you that for information, my home country is made of 18 provinces, and that's I chose 5 provinces: Bubanza, Bujumbura, rural Bujumbura, Bujumbura City, Gitega, and Ngozi. These were the 5 provinces my research focused on. And why did I choose actually the 5 provinces in my sample? In my research, I departed from the report by a local government organization, which in charge of actually accompanying the activity of cooperatives is called ANACOP. And in the report which have been given out, it was reported some provinces did well, and in some other provinces, there were a lot of failure. And then I chose among those 5 because those were among the cooperatives actually where we find many cooperatives who did well, and some cooperatives actually who did not actually manage to progress. And on this position, I thought I could actually get the data I wanted to resolve my research problem. So the total number of cooperatives which have been studied was 75 in the 5 provinces. And then the cooperatives which studied focuses on 2 main areas of economic productivity. It was a farming. This cooperative were farming the various crops, and others were along their economic activities in the area of livestock. Okay, by breeding different animals for business purposes. And what were then my findings after data collection and data analysis? I found first that successful cooperatives shared a number of common characteristics. And the characteristics were number 5. The first one was that the cooperatives who succeeded, they have a high motivation of their members to participate in the economic activities of their cooperatives. And secondly, the cooperatives which knew success were those who managed, who have a good management and a good governance structures. And thirdly, the cooperatives which actually succeeded were those who benefited some training and capacity building or some coaching facilities. And fourthly, cooperatives which knew success are mainly those who got support from a local governance structures. And fifthly, cooperatives which knew success were those actually who have a relevant agricultural and farming technology. But technology here was not very much actually advanced, but there were some who were progressing using some technology in order to improve, to promote their productivity. So there's cooperatives who did not do well also shared some characteristics. There were those who lack one or more of the 5 characteristics which I mentioned, like member motivation, poor management, poor governance, lack of appropriate training or coaching, or have reduced administrative support, or who lack the completely means to technological means to support the economic and the farming activities. So then I came up with this key observation that member motivation, good management, good governance, appropriate training, having good support in terms of coaching, getting appropriate local support of administrative structures, and having users relevant technology to increase productivity. They were actually key factors influencing positively the productivity of these cooperatives. And then I came up with some kind of conclusive observation that actually any strategy may tend to promote or to maximize the productivity of those cooperatives should appeal to ensuring appropriate condition which would motivate members to actively participate in their economic activities. And this strategy was also to seek to improve management and the governance of cooperatives, and seek this experienced personnel to manage these institutions. And also, the strategy should appeal to providing appropriate training and coaching to members of those cooperatives. And also, the strategy should appeal to promoting the support of cooperative by local administrative structures. And then the strategy should also afford the relevant technological means for this organization to promote their economic activities. There were some issues which were involved as well. There were some problems which actually negatively contributed to the failure. There were some cooperatives, as I said before, they were mainly doing farming and livestock activities, but some actually they did not have enough land for their economic activities, or have difficulties actually of finding the medical staff necessary for treating sick animals. But I found that actually those are among some of the technical problems which may be solved by a good collaboration between local governance and the administrative structures and those cooperatives. This actually can be resolved on a technical level. And as a way of my conclusion, I made some recommendation because in my research, I have been working with this governmental organization who's in charge of supporting and accompanying these cooperatives in Burundi. And actually, I came up with this recommendation, which actually has been successfully accepted to be used to improve this area of economic development. The first recommendation was to ensure close monitoring and the supervision of cooperatives activities throughout the country by the agent of this organization, and also to consolidate good management and governance of cooperatives, and then provide relevant training and coaching to members of the cooperatives, and particularly to the governing bodies of these organizations. And the other recommendation was to promote local administrative support, because it has been realized actually the support is people were receiving were quite different from different provinces. There is no unified and standard of supporting and helping these groups of, who are doing economic activities. And I propose that there should be some standard, a known and legalized standard of cooperation between local government structures and these cooperatives. And lastly, I recommended that actually the government, local government, should promote and actually help in providing some relevant technology to these organizations in order to increase productivity. And so that actually, by using these 5 strategies and the recommendations, it is, and I found that actually this organization, they incarnate relevant opportunity for Burundi, for my home country, actually, to grow economically. I thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Professor. It was a very interesting presentation because you gave some recommendation and some conclusion related to cooperatives that, for your interest, in Albania doesn't exist cooperatives because have not a good feeling from before when Albania has been a communist country. That cooperatives by the state were functioned, but now no. But to support the cooperatives is very good for agriculture, and I think it's nice. But in Albania doesn't exist, and it's very bad. I know.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other professor in online?
I don't think so, because I tried to connect from a different laptop to make sure that I'll manage to connect. Yeah. There's
Yes,
no
we had some
one. We are
problems
just
with
three.
voice before, but now is okay. Professor Desire Luis is online or no? Because
Yeah, it's me. It's me who
are
connected.
you? Sorry,
Yes,
sorry.
it's me.
There is any other else except three of us?
We are just 3 years.
Three? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So I can continue with my presentation. Just a moment. Can you see, please?
Yes, yes, we see.
Okay, very nice. But I want it to open all. No, I'll make it smaller. I think now I can't see myself. Oh my God. Just a moment. I want to share again because something happened. I think now is okay.
Yes, it is.
Yes, okay. Is a study with my doctorand doctorand that is in process, and we are concentrated in a uh, in a part of Albania, in the center of Albania. That is a part that links two main cities of Albania that are near of them, Tirana and Durrës, and we have called it Durana because it's a very interesting economic area. Because before we can say that Tirana and Durrës are two different cities, but now they are linked together, and we can say that is almost one city because this area is developed during the last years, and we are concentrated in a quantitative assessment of barriers to economic aid access in Durana economic area case that we can see here. We are in the center of Albania. Tirana is Durrës is a coastal city, and Tirana, the capital of Albania, is in the middle of Albania. And now we can really say that this Durrës and Tirana are the same cities, not more separated with each other. And this is a part of the study for this economic zone, Durana. And in this presentation, we are, as I said before, we are concentrated in barriers and assessment to aid access in this zone. Why? Because this is a new zone, new area that is created after 90s, after communist communist regime is destroyed in Albania, and here are concentrated or are accumulated people from different zones of Albania, but especially from villages and mountains. So the population, as we can see after, the population is not well educated, and this is the reason that they need the aid access from the government in these years. Albania has experienced major socioeconomic shifts in the 90s. The free movement of residents toward urban centers after 90s significantly influenced the geography of development, transforming Durrës and Tirana, that we call the Durrana zone, into the two most powerful economic areas contributing socioeconomic to Albania. Migrations toward the Durrana area resulted in increased population density and the concentration of economic activities in this area. Rapid urbanization increases inequality in access to services, especially for vulnerability groups, and the aims of the study is to identify socio-demographic barriers to economic and access in Durrana. Location, major transportation corridor, port of Durrës in Durrës, and in Tirana, near Tirana is Tirana International Airport, the bigger airport in Albania, because are two more small airport, but the bigger one, the international one, is near Tirana, near the capital, of course. Population in this area is almost 1.2 million people from 2.7 that all Albania has. So we can see that the density is very high in this area. Social indicators, access to healthcare, urban proximity 97%, employment in services sector 70%. Economic indicators, GDP contribution of this area is around 48%, and key sectors are construction, services, real estate, and trade. Methodology overview for achieving our aim is mixed method study combining quantitative and qualitative data. Primary data is a survey of 384 economic aid beneficiaries in early 2024. Statistical analysis are made with SPS, descriptive statistics, t-test, etc. General linear model is used to examine influence of socio-democratic variables on barriers. Sampling and data collections, participants recruited using purposive sampling based on municipal aid registers. A survey designed with semi-structural questionnaire capturing socioeconomic factors and barriers. Pretesting ensures reliability and validity, and limitation, of course, because the non-random sampling, self-reported data via the limited geographic scope Durrana region. And participant socio-demographic profile. 337 participants are 55.8 are female. Average age is 46.6 years. That means that they are requesting aid from the government in this young age because they doesn't work. And as I can say before, I said before, and so you can see here at education average is very low because they are coming from villages and high from mountains. So their education years is very low. A high unemployment in this area and poor economic conditions. 38.3% reporting poor or very poor health. 43% had chronic diseases. Average family size 3.83 members, nearly 4 members. Vulnerable family members common, and the average family size is small because their incomes are very small, and they can't make many children. This is the reason. Result: family size, happiness level, and civic engagement. Only 6.2% of individuals reported living alone, while the Average household size is 3.83 that we said before, almost 4 persons, plus minus one or sometimes 2 people more or less, because there are families now, young people that just married that are thinking to make or not to make children, and not more than one because of the situation. High prices of houses, prices of foods, and the living in Albania, especially in Tirana and Durrës that are in the center, is very, very expensive, not afforded by too many families. The average self-reported happiness level was low at 1.83 plus minus 0.71, with 84 dissatisfied with their economic situation, and 84.9% unhappy with current social policies. Less than half of respondents, that means 46.3%, had voted in the last local election. That means that the people that has voted is very low, because they don't believe in the policies in the local and government elections. So they prefer not to go to vote. Results, reasons, and barriers for social aid. The main reason individuals applied for economic assistance was unemployment, followed by financial hardship, disability, and divorce. The main barriers for receiving economic aid included complex procedures, lack of transparency, and excessive documentation. Over half of responses knew someone who had unfairly received social aid, while 10.1% believe political influence plays a role, and 3.3% reported unofficial payments. Additionally, 48.7% found media information unclear, and 33.2% felt social workers were unwilling to share necessarily details. Barriers to economic aid. Education level is the strongest prediction of barriers to aid. Participants with 0 to 4 years education report 6.7 barriers on average, and go on. Trends show women individuals over 55 years, those in poor health, and families with many vulnerable members face more barriers. And main barriers: bureaucratic complexity, unclear information, and measure of aid reporting. As conclusion, urgent need for reform in Albania's social welfare to reflect changing realities, education and training critical improved coordination between central and local governments needed to avoid fragmentation, simplification and transparency in aid application process are essentially. Policies must address women's economic vulnerability and support their empowerment. Recommendation revise eligibility formula to consider individual familial circumstances, streamline application processes to reduce bureaucracy and paperwork, increase coordination sharing across government levels, enhance public communication and awareness campaigning on aid programs, prioritize education and digital literacy for vulnerable groups, integrate health and disability consideration into social welfare, and the last one, develop targeted initiatives to support women's economic security. policy implications
We
and
lost the
future
sound.
steps. The sound is problem? I didn't.
No, that was not me. That was. I
I
think
didn't make nothing. I hear you, but my sound. No, my sound is okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, okay.
Good.
Just a moment. And the last one is empower vulnerable population with target programs to break powered cycles. And this is the reference that we are based for this paper. And I have to say thank you in Turkish. Teşekkürler.
Thank you too for the good presentation.
Thank you, Flora.
Yes. Mm.
Okay, we are okay. So I see that we are only three, that we have finished. If you have any question for each other, we can make. If everything is clear, we can.
Yes, I have a question. We are doing research in social sciences. I'm very much interested in your research as well. So I'm interested to know which kind of government intervention does it have in that area, like actually in development? Do they have like a financial support giving like monthly contribution to people's lives in, or how, which is the government intervention actually in this kind of
Yes,
to support
there
economic?
are some. Yes, there are some families. This kind of government, but by the the afford the to buy foods and to buy medicine in with this kind of support from the government is very low, very low. I don't know why. Yeah, because the government makes high expensive for something else that is not so needed, and the people speak under voice that why make this instead of giving the person that needed them money, or the people in retirement, because also the payment of retirement is very low. But people, even if there is this situation, they go and vote the same government, because now we had the government elections, and for the fourth time they voted the same government. I don't know why this is happening in Albania, but this is the situation. The salaries are low. Are also for the persons that work in the ministries, in the government, near the government, has not good salaries. So everything goes in this scale. The aid is low, the payment for retirements is low, and the salaries also are low. Also for professors in the state universities, because the private universities make what they want, but in state universities, the education in general has not a high payment. This is the policy. We don't know.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay.
Professor Nama, may I ask you, can you guess the ratio? What's the percentage of workers in cooperatives and independent farmers in your country, or how is it divided?
Yeah, in my country, we have more than 90% general population living on agriculture and farming. Yeah, but nowadays, the cooperatives we have in the Burundi, they are around 3,000, and they made of around 180,000 people. So it is like a minor portion of the population, but what we saw actually, they are producing a lot. They have this capacity of actually contributing a lot to the productivity, because actually they have the subsidies of the government. The government have given them the capital to start with. Yeah, but now we realize that actually they were not all of them were not performing so well. Some were actually failing. Yeah, but the portion in comparison to the general population, they are not that many, but they represent a big portion of productivity, which actually may be important for economic development.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you too for the question.
I think you are an agriculture country, yeah? That has agriculture, the main field. Everything
Yes.
is agriculture. Okay.
Yes.
Professor Daniel, you have been in Tirana, no? In
I
Albania?
was
Have you
in
visited
Albania, north of Albania, because we were going many times to Montenegro for holiday. So I know only the north part of Albania.
Only the north part. Yes, I advise you to visit the center and
I must
also
go there because it's
the
beautiful
south,
country.
because it's very nice, and many investment are made in tourism in Albania, and there are really very nice places for the holidays.
Yeah.
So I advise to come.
Thank you. Yeah. Also,
Professor, what university you were? Your name, your university? My university is in Durrës, but I live in Tirana.
Okay.
What was the name of your university?
Pardubice, but it's not far from Prague. So if you have a chance to visit Prague, you can write me email or send me a message, and it will be a pleasure to show you the Prague or our university.
I have been one time some years ago, just one time, and I am. Oh my God! It was a very nice city. But I wanted the name of your university to speak with my foreign international directory of my university, if we have some relation with each other. Because we have a faculty that is related with your field, and me also. I am part, because the project finished or closes in November. In November is a PELMOB project that is related with electric cars, not only, but all electric movies. And it was a very nice project, but it's finishing now. We are in the end of the project. But I have, in a meeting that we had in Budapest, there are some people from Czech Republic, but I don't know which university.
Okay, so I wrote it in chat. If you can have a look, there's a chat. So University of Pardubice, and there's my email address. Can you find it? On the top, there is a chat.
Yes, we can write three of us and make a photo because is Mustafa that
Okay.
managed the page.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Just a moment. And we can okay, I write mine.
Okay, thank you.
You can write yours.
Yes, please let me do it.
Okay. And it's better to make a photo because the page will close.
Okay, so oh, sorry.
Don't worry. Write all the address and after send it. I can also Alexander, my CEO, Doras University. Alexander, my CEO, Doras University, Albania.
Thank you. I will copy and keep it. So nice to meet you. It was nice to watch your presentation, to discuss with you. And greetings to Mustafa. I don't know if I think you will talk with him, Flora.
Yes, of course. Now to close just to be sure that I I had your Daniel. Yes, okay. Okay.
Thank you. So have a nice day.
Just a
Thank
moment.
you very much.
Okay,
Have a nice day,
it was
All the best.
It was a pleasure meeting you today, and hope to see next year, maybe in Istanbul.
Okay.
Yes.
Have a nice weekend. Thank you
Bye.
for participating.
You too.
It
Bye-bye.
was my pleasure meeting you and knowing you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 You can leave.